I agree wholeheartedly with the sentiment that a verbal quote is as good as the paper it's written on, which is why it's really critical for our design professionals to obtain a written quote every single time they want to purchase something from a supplier or purchase service from a trade. So that's what we're going to talk about here, how to obtain written quotes from the people who help us fulfill on a project. In this course, I want to explore details of preparing a quote request form, which is a single but critical component of the larger process that's going to take us from step 3, which is trade day, to step 5, which is the presentation. And I know I say this all the time, but once you get to step 5, it is extremely likely that your project is going to end abruptly. It's going to go all the way to the finish line. You're going to be able to take beautiful photographs for your website and get them published in a magazine and all those things. And not only that, you're going to get client referrals and repeat customers. So this is where it's really, really critical for us to work on our business and not just in our business. In the course, step 4, preparing for the presentation, and by the way, if you haven't already taken that, I strongly recommend you take that before you jump into this course. We're going to walk through a detailed checklist of each of the 3 phases of the intense work period that is step 4. That's what we do in that course. The 3 phases, for those of you who've already taken that course, as a reminder: execution of work, estimating begins, and final prep for the presentation. In this course, how to prepare a quote request form, we're going to focus exclusively on creating and managing quote requests, and that's going to fall into the second phase of work where estimating begins. In our office, after a lot of prodding from my business coach, we began to develop systems and templates which allowed us to obtain accurate pricing information for every item or service that we required to complete a project or a job. I know that previously we'd use email, we'd use phone calls, and the result was we very often had not enough information or the wrong information, or the supplier said, I never said it was $500, I said it was $700. And that just didn't make any sense for a business that was trying to grow its presence in the public and grow its profitability. We use formal templates to ensure internal consistency in all of our procedures, and so that no detail is overlooked. It also helps with our trade and retail partnerships as they understand what it is that we expect from them when we ask them to provide us with details on an estimate. It's really important that the quotes you receive are in written format so that you can create a paper trail or a series of documents you can refer back to in the event that there are questions or a misunderstanding or an error occurs. Having the quote in writing protects all the parties involved, not just the design professional. It also protects the retailer, the supplier, the trade. Ultimately, it protects the client as well. It's critical. In this course, we're going to learn how to define quote requirements, how to submit a proper quote request, and guidelines for managing timelines. Let's get started. If you're ready to tackle all that, go ahead and open up video number 1, how to prepare a quote request form.